That looks like a pretty special place where your dad is.
Well, it is, that is the place where actually my father was born, and in that very paddock where this video clip was taken, his family was grazing probably what was 10 cows about 100 years ago, and that's all they had for living at that time. So, yeah, seeing this happening now, it's quite touching, yeah.
And something about the horse, I believe these colours we might see in Melbourne in early November.
Horse racing has always been part of my father's life, and is actually now the biggest part of his life. I think he was looking forward for someone taking over the responsibility of the business, so that now he can concentrate on his passion, which is horse racing. This year we are also very happy because we had one of our horses, Basaltico, nominated for the Melbourne Cup, so most likely we'll have one there. And you know, it's seeing him in that place tonight. It's very special. And there is one person we missed tonight, which is my sister Donatella, which was also very much involved in this business up to 10 years ago. She was sitting there, but unfortunately she had another committee that she could not cancel. So I'd like also to recognize her work done before me here in Australia. And yeah, very nice to see
so the 2009 Emirates Melbourne Cup, we could look forward to the 2010 Wellard Melbourne Cup?
Maybe.
Steve, well, speaking about Danella, and this is a bit of a surprise to you, Mauro, but Danella has written us a message. Danella couldn't be here tonight, but has asked me to read this. Dear Mauro and friends, it would have been a great pleasure to be there with you all in a country that I consider my second home, and to celebrate with you the significant achievement of 30 years of activity of our company. In particular, I have to thank David Kerr. I wouldn't mind David standing up actually, because he's such an enormous part of this business. I'm sure he's out there somewhere, but you can see him. There he is. David Donadella says, without you, I wouldn't be able to send not even one sheep from Australia. And Steve Meerwald, you have always been a great advisor. Again, Greg Lisa, David Jarvie, Ennio Tavani and our Uncle Bob, who all gave their precious contribution to the company, I wish to thank. After so many years, it is great to see Wellard celebrating 30 years of activity and to see how much it has grown. I'd like to thank my brother Mauro for taking care of the company in the last years and for making Wellard a trademark of worldwide success. Thank you, Mauro, for having carried on in such a successful way a company which has so much meaning in my life.
Thank you for the message. Very nice to
From Donatella.
Maybe talking about family, I would like also to thank Giovanna. She's a very much part of the success of Wellard as well. So thank you for that as well.
Well, as the company moved on, Dennis Bennett was the shipping agent for the first shipment, the El Podrero.
I guess it's probably appropriate now to recall the first call at Fremantle of the El Podrero. The El Podrero was the first vessel of Seaba's to call. She'd come into Gage Roads, and the quarantine had rejected her, not as being unclean, but as having not been sufficiently lime washed. And at that time the painters and dockers were at the height of their powers in Fremantle, and any cleaning they claimed the right to be done after the ship had arrived in port limits. So unfortunately they were in league with the crews of the launches, so we arranged, myself and a mate went out in an open aluminium 23-foot boat and with a cargo of lime and loaded it over the stern of the El Podrero. And the crew subsequently lime washed the vessel to the quarantine department's or Aquas's satisfaction. The captain at that stage was Captain Bona, a lovely Italian fellow, and he was fairly grateful for what we'd done. I subsequently met him on the maiden voyage of the Seba Queen, and after we'd finished loading, we pulled her off at number 1 North Quay, and the ship developed what is known as an angle of loll. It flopped over about 5 degrees. All the sheep skittered to one side. The pilot and the captain, both of their faces went ashen on the bridge wing. They took her out and anchored her, and subsequently we've got a few thousand bags of Hessian bags, sent them out there, and the crew debagged all the bulk fodder from the silos, laid it on the deck to give her more stability, and she eventually, after about 3 days and a few calculations by surveyors, took off. I'm not quite, I think she was going to Libya as well. You think of the Bacrooks, a modern purpose-built vessel. The Bacrooks would be a Rolls-Royce compared with what we had in the past. Any ship that is operating today is a far cry from what we had hitherto.